Welcome back to Alphabet FIFA. We are on letter C this time around, and we've really had our ups and downs already, which isn't that good of a thing. Since we're only on the third squad, third letter, with Arnautovic and the A squad being amazing, and our B squad with Bellarabi being absolutely dreadful. So hopefully this squad will get us back on the right track. We'll have a really good time. So maybe you guys will want to go out and try it on your own. So let's go ahead and introduce you to the team. So in keeper, we have a guy that I like to call Pants personally. His name's Helton. Plays for Porto. And the reason I call him Pants is in FIFA 14, which I've said many times before was my first FIFA and also my favorite FIFA, I had a Brazilian team, and that's when I really started getting serious into skilling. So I had like Bernard, who had 5-star skills back then, Ronaldinho, Inform Jadson, and Neymar striker card. And I had Helton in goal, and it was the first keeper I think I saw or I used that had Pants, so I just referred to him as Pants from there on, and just because you don't really see many keepers in this game with Pants, so that's a little side story behind it, little stupid story, but it's whatever. At left back we have Marcelo, who's my favorite left back in the game, most likely. Maybe David Alaba, but David Alaba I like in the midfield a little bit more than in the defense. Marcelo's just a tank. He can do it all. He can hit your long shots, and he can defend. He's got good pace on him. He feels quicker than 81 pace, in my opinion. He's just a really good card, and I really enjoy using him. At left center back, we have Thiago Silva, who is an absolute tank. Everybody knows who this guy is. 90 defense. There's not much more you can say about him. And at right center back, we have Miranda. And if you want to pair someone else up with Miranda and make another really good dynamic duo, you can do it with Juan Jesus, who also plays for Inter, and he's also Brazilian, so it's a hyperlink right there. But Miranda is such a tank, 88 defense, 81 physical, and 76 pace. Just the beast. And at right back, my favorite right back, other than maybe one other right back, but that right back's more for giggles and just trying to take the piss on people, really, for banter, pretty much. Anyway, Danny Alves, 86 pace, one stat away from Club 70, which is pretty good for starting card. He's got 70 shooting on his, base card. That's amazing. So he's just an absolute phenom back there. Who he actually signed for Juventus today, I believe. So hopefully he'll be good next year as well for Juventus, and hopefully it'll be a nice right back in the Serie A to use next year. At left center mid, right center mid, we actually have a CDM, and it is Aruka. And you might be thinking, what the heck here? Well, let me let in a little secret here. Aruka was in my club already, and he's also I've used him before in this game. He's done a very solid job. He's only 5'7". He's got high, but he's got 81 physical, and he plays like someone like Matuidi. He's very good in my opinion. So I decided to give him a go again. And at cam we have Giuliano, who is a 5-star skiller. Absolutely love him in the game so far. So hopefully he'll do well for us as well. Used him a bunch of times. And at left center mid we have another cam who I'm sure you saw, who is Coutinho. He's not the C that I was basing this team off of, but he is a C. And he seems like he's got a really solid card. I'm sure next year, or you would think he'd get his long shots upgraded a little bit. I think they're only like 81, which isn't bad, especially for a base card, but I don't know. I feel like he deserves some better long shots, in my opinion. He's a good little tricky player on the ball, but other than that, he has never done anything for me, really. So we'll see how he does in this team, but hopefully great, hopefully not. And why did I just say hopefully not? Of course I hope he does great. At right wing we have Kelvin, another 5-star skill that I just like him in terms of what I expect from him. What I mean is, when I go look on, skills compilations on YouTube, and I realize I'm not that great, in terms of skilling. My skill compilations, whenever I put them out, which I haven't this year, but, in the past, They've been all right. They haven't been amazing. I'm not Kuzui. I'm no FIFA Rally. I'm not Loklani or however you say his name. I'm not nearly as good as those guys. But you know, I know how to do some. I know how to do a lot of the moves. It's just my consistency is not that great. I'm not consistent in all angles of player perspective. And so I see guys pulling off, killing it with Kelvin. I'm like, dang, man, I really want to use Kelvin now. And so I use him. Um, and so we're going to see, I don't know if I've used him this year yet, but I know last year he was kind of a disappointment. But we're going to see how well he does for us for this team. Hopefully we can pull off some sweet skill goals with Kelvin. But, we're just trying to pick up some goals really to see how the team really plays. And at left wing, we have my favorite player, Neymar. Boy, I've used this guy a couple of times this year, and all I can say is what a legend he is. Oh my gosh, the ball sticks by his foot. Depending on the day you're playing FIFA, he's either blistering fast or as slow as John Terry. And that's not so much of something you should count against Neymar. That's something you should count against FIFA. And EA and the servers, because there are days he just blows by everyone, and there's days he can't outrun anything. And I don't get it, but the only thing I can attribute that to would either be my internet connection, which isn't true because I've had 3 different internet connections within FIFA 16, and they've all played the same, and it's highly unlikely that it's my problem's my internet. My PlayStation is messed up somehow, which I highly doubt. Or that EA just sucks. And I think I'm just going to conclude that EA just sucks in terms of their servers, which they already have, but especially this year in FIFA 16 and the connectability. But anyway, yeah, he's just a beast. He'll score you inside the box. Long shots, not really his thing. But I really want to give his Team of the Year card a go, or Team of the Season card a go. I might do that for N. But we'll get to that when we get there. And at striker, we have our main man of the episode, and you're going to say, who the hell is this guy? His name, Douglas Coutinho. Now, you're probably saying, what the heck are you doing? Well, I wanted to switch it up. I didn't want to just go straight informs and, a bunch of high-rated players. I wanted to mix it up, too, and I think this guy looks like a very interesting kind of player. He's got 85 pace, 69 shooting, 75 dribbling, and 62 physical. And he's 6 foot. The 4-star skill moves, 2-star weak foot. I think he looks like an interesting kind of player. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like Brazilians and I like silvers. Now you can also see this is a full Brazilian side. It's nothing creative. However, as the team I decided that I want to go with because I like the front 3. I like my midfield and I like the defense. And of course you gotta have pants and goal because how you gonna win games without pants? I don't know. That'd be kind of weird running around the pitch without pants on. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the clips for this team. Yeah, guys. So this team actually, I really enjoyed this team. Nice little bit of skill here from Neymar, and just unfortunately could have put it in. So Juliano with a little dink. We actually scored a decent amount of clips. And a lot of them came from they were bursting games. They were 3-goal games, 4-goal games. But unfortunately, 2 or 3, or I should say 1 or 2 of the games didn't record, including my first one, in which I scored some really sweet goals with Neymar. And I don't think Neymar scored really in any other of these clips, which is truly unfortunate. But it is what it is. Coutinho got on really well. Aruka scored some good goals for us. As you'll see right here, just bangs it pretty much from a standstill off of a corner. It was a really good shot. Really surprised that went in. We did score a couple of cheesy goals, but all in all, it was pretty fun. Douglas Coutinho, he does make pretty good runs. He is in the right position, the right time, and he can burst away with that get away from the cop speed if he gets out in space. But he's not gonna sprint past someone that's in front of him. But he will if he's level with them, he'll get past them. And he'll get away, which is always a nice thing to have in your strike. And he's a big, tall guy, too, so he can body off. You see right here, he's got the technical ability with the ball roll to a little bit of a body feint, finesse into the bottom right corner. He's a pretty good striker. I think he's worth it just to try out at least. We're coming to the end of the clips here, This little dinker we scored with Ruka from little sister from Kelvin. Really weird play, but hey, if it works, it works, right? And then our last clip here, Giuliano plays a lovely ball through to Douglas Coutinho, who made a run, and he's just going to finish that off right there. And yeah, that was quite typical of Douglas Coutinho to do that. Yeah, so guys, this team it was interesting, to say the least. Um, I enjoyed them at times. I completely loved them, but at times it was just a struggle. And I don't know if it's just a EA FIFA kind of deal where handicapping and that and, all that, or the team just doesn't play well at certain points. I don't want to blame everything on FIFA and EA, so I'm gonna lean towards maybe this team doesn't play that great all the time. Helton was good. He performed like you expect him at 81. He's gonna say what he should, and keepers really have just been decent this year for me. Nobody's that bad. Marcelo, loved Marcelo. Thiago Silva, the center backs, they didn't disappoint me, but their positioning at points did. Many a times players got behind them when I really felt like they should have done a better job. Over the top through balls seemed to might have come back. Plenty of those got played over the top. I don't know. It was weird. At right back, Danny Alves did well. Got involved in the attack as well as defending, so couldn't complain. Aruka, I thought he played pretty damn well. I was very impressed with Aruka this go around. Would definitely recommend him. Giuliano, I love him because of his 5-star skill ability and his dribbling. In my opinion, the ball sticks to his foot a lot, and he can hit some outside the box shots. But he was all right. He wasn't anything special. Coutinho, didn't particularly like him. Neymar, I always loved Neymar. I thought Neymar did pretty well. Would recommend Neymar any day of the week. The only thing is, it seems like when you have high-rated players in your team, you experience that difference in quality more frequently, as in from game to game, your team may change drastically. One game they might playing like all team of the seasons. The next one they could be playing like they're all bronzes. That's just how it seems to me. I might be completely in the wrong here. I'm not gonna try to say it's always this way, but for me it feels like that. And Kelvin was underwhelming. Unfortunately, I felt like I thought he was gonna perform better, but I don't even think. I think his acceleration is what gives him in the 80 pace. I think he's got like 78 or 79 actual sprint speed. So he's not the quickest player, and unfortunately, he doesn't have good shooting. His dribbling's it's kind of loose. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't stick to his foot as much as I was wanting. But Douglas Coutinho, you know what? If you're going for wins, you're not gonna want to use Douglas Coutinho. You're probably gonna want to replace Coutinho, Kelvin, and Aruka. Even though I would recommend keeping Aruka. It may be Helton, but I wouldn't. But if you want a fun team to use, I'd use Douglas Coutinho. Build a team around him. He's a big guy, and it's noticeable on pitch. He doesn't have the best strength in the world, but his big body allows him to shield the ball. And he finished pretty well, in my opinion, for a 70 overall striker. So I'd say definitely give him a go if you're looking just to have a good time, not really going for just sweating it out and just trying to score easy goals or cheesy goals or whatever have you. But yeah, guys. Anyway, that is the episode for Alphabet FIFA. I hope you have enjoyed this week with the C team. But next week we will be moving on to D, and I have no idea who I'm going to use yet. So it is going to be a surprise for me as much as it is for you guys. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Deuces.